This is Mark Boslow of Los Alamos National Laboratory. Please click on the link to my poster and follow along while I narrate. The title of my poster is Airburst Consequence Modeling Using Artificial Ablation. Tunguska-like collisional airbursts dominate the current impact risk. The most likely NEO disasters are airbursts, and surface damage calculations are required for risk quantification. Hydrocode simulations are often initialized using entry models that include implicit assumptions about how energy is transferred from exploding asteroids to the atmosphere. Artificial ablation is a method of allowing the transfer of energy to be part of the hydrocode run itself, reducing the number of assumptions and therefore generating better damage maps and risk estimates. Here's how the artificial ablation energy deposition, or EDEP, insertion method works. Most of the ablated portion of the asteroid is entrained into the high-velocity wake directly behind it. Mass can be removed from the asteroid at a prescribed rate to match the pre-calculated EDEP. One way to do this is to change the physical properties of the asteroid by externally sourcing a small amount of energy in stages, causing a sequence of specified portions of its mass to calve off at specified altitudes. EDEP is ambiguously defined, so a better way is to remove mass at a rate consistent with the fragment cloud model, or FCM, mass loss. I tested this method with CTH in an axisymmetric simulation where I inserted a cylindrical asteroid and removed in sequences pieces of mass that vaporized and got entrained into the wake. You can see that in cyan in the sequence of frames in the upper panel. Now, the reason I like this better is because EDEP is ambiguous and of limited usefulness. So when we use it to initialize our hydrocode simulations, we actually lose information. There is no unique agreed upon definition of energy deposition. In FCM, the different impactor components, that is the various clouds and fragments, contribute to EDEP when they pass the altitude at which they lose their increment of kinetic energy, even though at different times. My EDEP sums all impactor kinetic energy losses from everywhere and attributes them to the altitude of the leading fragment at that instant. In reality, EDEP is spatially and temporally distributed. It is considered to be a function of the Eulerian altitude coordinate z, but kinetic energy is actually lost into a rapidly moving and deforming medium, the atmosphere, and is advected downward on time scales that are commensurate with the deposition time. EDEP is useful for intercomparison of various airburst scenarios, but does not contain enough information about mass and velocity fields to be as useful as artificial ablation for initializing hydrocode simulations of surface blast effects.